Hello everyone, and welcome back to What Remains of Edith Finch. In the last one, we happened to hear what happened to little Molly. Or at least in Molly's imagination in her diary. We don't know what actually happened to Molly. We're not quite sure. Which is kind of the whole premises of this game. And it makes it so intriguing because it... I don't know, it just takes you back to... what? Is that a snake? Wait. Is that a snake? Then what? Then we kind of know what happened to all the birds then. What do they call? Derpy? Oh, the name is hidden there. Rob. No, Bob! Bob the snake! Humphrey? It's kind of hard to read because it's a little... They are a little bird. Little blur. There's another snake! Like, really? No, is that... No, that's not a snake. That's a lizard. I only saw the head first. I'm like, oh, snake! More snakes! That's actually an interesting combination of pets the grandmother had. And I'm assuming had, since it's so many years later that she came back to here. A Tale of Tales. Now it's actually quite intriguing to look at the books as well, because if you could get just any clue of what happened to the family, it's probably hidden in like small lines somewhere where you can't see. Lumpy. Kind of like the Seven Dwarfs thing. I think there's more than 7 cages though. Yeah, there are more than 7 cages. Oh, I'm kind of stuck here. Oh, that's because... Oh! Hello, baby boiler. Baby belly. Which we also found out last time, that she was pregnant. So that's great. So she's trying to... Aw. It's the whole family. Molly, Barbara, Calvin, Sam... Walter, Dawn, Gus, Gregory, Lewis, Milton, Edith. So this is us. Ours are purple. It's a purple color. Yay! It's also really intriguing with all the pictures. I wonder if any of them is kind of like...
museum.
Ooh. Yeah. That's kind of what I got from all this. It's kind of like a museum, actually. But I'm wondering if any of the developers, like, is their family poster or portraits or something that's in there. Oh. What? So that's how Lewis looked.
Lewis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him.
Yeah. So they left a week after. I only assumed there was Lewis because it was in the first picture.
Edie knit me a new pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones.
Oh, that's sweet. That means she wears like these finger gloves all the time. That's kind of cool. It was a trend back in the day. It was actually a trend during my childhood. And they're painting Walter's room, I think it was. It's so intriguing to look at the pictures. I know that takes a lot of time, but I am one of those going like, but what if there was a clue? What? Oh, there was a candle on a piece of wood. It was kind of like, that looked like a penguin for a second. I really do enjoy like looking at small details and such. Oh, Lewis. It's an interesting fact that the family actually memorialize them in wood, like a typical family tree thing. And I'm not actually sure if they actually do that in Sweden. I think we'll have to check that out because that's interesting, because we don't do that in Denmark and we're like neighbor countries. And we have common history. So that would be rather interesting to know if that's actually how it did. Oh, that's Odin. Oh, I get ya. I get you now. Is that like a travel thing? Now I will already admit I can't actually remember much of the game anymore because it has been such a long while since I played it. And I know there are some terrible things that's gonna happen, but I can't actually quite remember them anymore, which is really bad. Joining the great majority. And there's a couple of them, and there's a pen. A pen is mightier than the sword. It's almost a theatrical thing here. Oh. The Mysteries of Death and Thereafter. By Edith Finch. Did you know something we didn't know? Oh well, let's see what can they tell us.
For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune.
Oh, it's Norway.
And misfortune.
I always thought it was... Norway is also a neighbor country, and we also have common roots with them. It's kind of like Denmark, Norway, and Sweden. We like have this interesting past history, especially dating back to the Viking era and even pre that. So yeah, oh, it was Norway. Have to remember that. But I don't think Norwegians does that either. The whole plank thing? I need to search that up. That could be interesting to know. Oh, it's one of those really old ones, like the ones, those travel wheels. So if in the old days, if you wanted to see where you wanted to go, you were given one of these picture things in front of your face and you go, oh, that's interesting. It was kind of old-fashioned, really new kind of thing, commercial stuff. I had like 3 of them, and one of them were for Disneyland. I remember that much. One of them were for Disneyland, which was kind of sad because we never went. Oh, come on.
Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse. His wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan.
Oh, Johan. Oh yeah, that's really sad. But it's kind of like, that's probably the most common Norwegian and actually Scandinavian names I know. So very creative there with the names. Let's see. But yeah, that would she probably died during labor because it says newborn. So there were probably complications to the birth, and probably the child didn't make it either. That's kind of sad.
On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind.
Why would you take your house with you? Okay, I have heard about gigantic movings before where, like, you don't want to leave your house, so you take it with you. But I've only heard of that in, like, America. Happened in America. In Denmark, you just leave it. Because when you move, it's not to usually stay in the things you are. You try to better the things that you didn't have before. But of course, if it's people that are attached to the memories of the house. But I don't think that's safe in any way. I don't think that's safe at all to go like, oh, we go from Norway to America. You know, you have to actually pass a very big ocean with known for winds and really nasty shipwreck accidents and such, right? No? So already back then, they were famous, and apparently they already had a curse on them in Norway. Huh. Interesting.
But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington
Where?
send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea.
Oh, was he in the house? Uh-oh. So he was steering from the house and the rest in a troll boat. That's a multiple days journey. How could they not expect maybe something bad could happen? It doesn't even look that secure. If they actually had to have a raft underneath the house, I would have tried to get a bigger one that flattened out the whole surface. Oh goodness. Odin, or Odin, house to the bottom of the sea. That's kind of sad because he had a dream of coming to another place and maybe leaving something behind, but apparently it seems the curse followed him, so maybe the curse is in his house itself?
Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island.
Oh. Oh. So that's Edith's grandmother, I'm guessing. And her boyfriend, or husband. Boyfriend. Husband Sven. And they got onto this island and they started their new life. And we already know that about maybe 9-10 years later, they will have their first tragedy in the family, unfortunately.
Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery.
That's kind of a creative gravestone. So I'm guessing the stones of the child and mother might be Odin's wife and unborn or newborn. Like make it theatrical. You can see the house being built in the background. That's nice. You can also see the kind of history. I love history pictures. Given history teacher, right? But also like just going into the details of the pictures and see what does it say aesthetically and such. That's really interesting.
His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
Well, I can see that. You can kind of see that because they're already building it and they look so happy. That's nice. So that's just this tales of Odin and who he passed the story on to, which is our character's grandmother. So what we've learned from this is that the family believes there is a curse, and apparently it followed them. It followed them all the way from Norway until United States. Huh. Interesting. Oh, no, no, that that was not what I meant to do. How do we do that? How do we get out of it? Oh, we just walk backwards. Let's see here.
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
Yeah, because he said already Odin knew there was a curse back then when they left Norway, which I've said already. So basically there's been a lot of maybe the curse come with their fortune, and there is this chemistry in northern belief between tragedy and fortune. If you have a lot of fortune, then destiny would have that you also have a lot of misfortune. It has to equal out in some matters or ways. But I don't know if it has anything to do with that. Mole man beneath the Finch house. What?
Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious.
Oh, but it's just a lot of fun. It seemed her mom was very much a downer on a lot of things. Or at least not accepting of a lot of things.
I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long time.
Edith Jr.? That's actually a good comment though. Edie won't go.
One summer they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity.
Oh, maybe it's because they're so attached to the house that the house itself becomes a living being. There are some Nordic mythology to that. If you believe in something so much or care for something so much, it actually gets a soul. But that's very, very old. That's very old. Built 1937. Sven Finch. Okay.
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed.
But
she could have, but she didn't.
Where was the fun in that? The dragon story sounds much more like... Again, Scandinavian Folktale. Oh, what is that folktale? Is it... Oh, it's something. It's a legend. I think it's Beowulf. The last tale of Beowulf includes a dragon. So, oh, there we go. The Norwegian flag, in case I didn't actually see it before. Fair enough. So his story is kind of just very shortly. It's just very, very shortly explained. There's even a branch from the. That's kind of sad. Oh, goodness. No. They took a picture in the seconds he fell off. Oh, goodness. Oh, no. That's sad. Look, here's a giant newspaper article about the thing. And here's actually the family portrait of what happened. Oh, that was a big green thing we saw out in the swamp in front of the house. Interesting. Your baby picture. Oh, that's sweet. Are there any other interesting things around? Oh, there's a little sharky. Maybe she did believe in Molly, that there was unknown creatures out there. She was also okay. She had problems with breathing, and she probably passed away on a Tuesday due to the fact that, or a Wednesday, because you can see her pill box has opened but not closed. Okay. Oh, the old-fashioned perfumes, the one, the poof poof ones. Oh goodness. I remember those from my grandmother. The one that's not alive anymore. Oh goodness. But she was also a bad walker. She had everything against her, I guess. But she lived for a long... Oh, that's nice. That's really cool. Wow. It's even the Finch house. Oh, that's symbolic. Because all those are finches. Like, types of finches. And they are all living in the house. So that's kind of symbolic.
Even in her 90s. Sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
Well, some are very young in spirit. It actually often happens. I tell you, my grandmother, even when she was like getting really old, starting her hearing problems, and she actually almost became completely deaf and in a wheelchair because of an accident, and it was really bad. She was still just young and spirit and would still not let me win in card games. I tell you guys, it was really bad. That's pink. That's my nightmare. Oh, I often say I don't really like pink, or
the only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom.
Ugh. Why would you?
It was a pretty big trace.
Yeah. Why would you leave something so pink? Well, some people really do enjoy this whole other color spectrum than me, which is fine. I've just always loved pink and light purples, very light purples, due to the fact that I think it's a scare from my childhood. Oh, that's actually practical. Sitting in your shower, that's actually practical if you can't walk that well. That's really practical. But my mom always tried to put me in pink, and she would always reminiscent of me screaming every time she tried. So yeah, she was really heavily medicated. But I guess if she had bad knees, it would probably be arthritis, and as far as I know, that's really painful. Or so my father says. Okay. Can we use the same key again? There's a multiple key we have! Wait. Here's the secret. There's a secret in the bathroom by Sven and Edith Finch. What?
There's a secret in this bathroom.
Oh, that must be the twins.
It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Oh, that's clever. I love that. Oh, that's a sound. That's a sound for sure. Calvin. It is the twins. I can remember the names for some reason, but I can't remember anything else.
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
And that would be the grandfather, yes. This is kind of like a Norwegian or any Scandinavian folktale. They have this very massive line of names you have to, like, those saga histories back from Viking times. So you have constant names put in, and they're the sons and daughters of do. And you have to keep track of it, or else it's gonna run away from you. Trust me, I studied them, and I got tired after like 5 pages. Because then you have already learned like 25 people. Aw, look. I'm guessing that's Sven and... Was it Dawn? Her mother was called? It's probably Dawn. And then there's a swing set. Oh, that's a deer. And a watch house, or a watch house basically, where you can either observe or sit and wait, as the hunters would call it, because you don't really move around. Milton was here too. I wonder what actually happened to Milton, because I can't actually remember now, because he kind of follows us around like the big brother that we never met, but he just went missing. I know we are not gonna meet him, I remember that much, but I can't actually remember what happened to him. Right now, at least. And now we are in the next room. We are in the twins' room. Oh, this is kind of ominous. The one of them being just... Oh, that's cute. And that's ominous. That's kind of sad just to look at. But you can see his passion for photos. You can definitely see that he developed that probably after the passing. And he definitely never let it go. Sad you don't have... I would like to go over there and see what you could see over there, but I guess that never finished, or at least it was broken down. Whereas over there is actually to the command center.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin.
Yeah, we knew too, just by the pictures. Does it say anything on this? No. It's kind of like, it could be funny if it's to the command center, or to the fort, or to the watchtower on these stairs. That could have been play on the twin thing. Anyway. Aw. I really like that they actually took the measure to kind of incorporate all these things into... I really like that they took all the pictures, even though it's a little creepy at times because it's eerily accurate. But I'm also kind of thinking, how many people did you get to help with all these pictures? That's so fascinating. But I think actually we'll be ending off here, because I think we would take what was this called? What was the brother called? Calvin. We would take Calvin's story next time. And until next time, take care and have a fantastic day.